what got me thinking about this is the exact opposite of the kind of team that was defending in 2015. In 2014, they had a bunch of underclassmen guys who were achieving a year ahead of schedule. Like they still returned, Bosa, Zeke, like all the big guys. They had pretty much everyone back except for like a few guys in secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, it's the exact opposite. They're losing most of their contributors from this national championship team. They got to replace 14 starters. They got to replace like I mentioned, the entire defensive line, of most of their offensive line who they were planning on starting, quarterback, running backs, all that stuff. So, it got me thinking that if Ohio State is going to have any chance of defending next year, they're going to have a lot of young guys step up. Like this is where those young guys have to be ready to go from the jump, and this is why you come to Ohio State. You think you're the best of the best. You think you deserve to play right away. Well, now they have a chance to prove that.
I'm happy you said it because I was just when you're just rolling about your house, going through your day, you have a random thought pops in your mind, and I was thinking to myself, what this would be the twin. Well, I think what we're talking about the 23 class and 22 class, right?
Yeah.
Or these guys are gonna have
Would be the 23 class would be from the 23 class.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be sophomores. 22 classes, they're going to be juniors.
So those two classes, man, they I think this is a big year for them. Especially for the juniors. It's a show me year. Now I think that thankfully, especially on the defense, there's a lot of guys that have played. They play in spots. Of course, we talked about this, and I think every single one of the guys that are coming into this year playing, probably not. I mean, I can say McLean, but these guys have played valuable minutes, and some of them have made big plays. It's about the guys behind them also that 23 class. I think it says a lot that we do expect some freshmen to play. We expect Riley Pettyjohn to play this season. I think some of us do. So
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he played, but I wouldn't say he's not going to play a lot. I don't think.
Not a lot.
Unless there's some injuries, which you never know.
But I mean, what do you think that do you think CJ Hicks is going to make the full jump over to edge rush?
I fully expect him to move to edge. I mean, they've basically pretty much. I mean, in my opinion, he would have left if they didn't promise him that he was going to move to edge. I mean, you saw how pissed he was after the Purdue game. Like he wanted nothing to do with being at the linebacker spot anymore. He thinks he's best utilized at the edge, and it's kind of hard to deny that. I mean, he's not real good in space.
Someone said this about a year ago. This guy. I saw I need to see him at linebacker, and I wasn't impressed. But I mean, if you're taking him out of there, so you're talking Sonny, you're talking Arvell, Gabe.
Gabe, I mean, if you want to have Pettyjohn like out there, you can, but you're also, I mean, it depends. Again, this all depends on what kind of defense Patricia wants to run, specific to his base defense. Because for the last, 3 years, we've had a base defense of a 4-2-5. And that's the only two linebackers who really played were, I guess there were three, but Cody Simon played a lot of snaps, and Sonny Styles played a lot of snaps.
Right.
Marvell Reese got a little bit, and that was pretty much it. CJ Hicks would get in every now and then too, but again, wasn't one of the starters. So it depends on what kind of defensive system Patricia thinks will most likely succeed with the players that he has. I could see Pettyjohn, at the very least, I could see him competing for some playing time.
Who do you think? Do you think Powers is the third linebacker?
No, I mean I could actually see. Powers is gone. He already
Oh yeah,
transferred.
I'm sorry, not
So
Powers. Who am I
I, I
thinking of?
I could see Garrett Stover getting some playing time. I mean, he
Thank
was
you.
a
That's what I'm
freshman
thinking. I'm
last
thinking about
year.
Stover. Thank you. Yeah.
Um, he's someone who, I mean, they really liked coming out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and now that he's got a year under his belt, he could actually venture into some playing time, especially if they end up playing more of a 4-3 base. So that's probably who I think they've got the um, who projects to have the best chance. Also, Peyton Pierce has a really good shot to actually get some playing time. He's
Mm-hmm.
someone who I really liked coming out of high school as well. Another freshman that they like. So it's gonna be a battle between those two guys, I think, to get the most playing time. If they do end up having three linebackers as part of their defensive set more often, even if it's not their base. We talked about how Patricia likes to be multiple on defense, but
Yeah.
those are probably the two guys I would see playing over Pettijohn.
And of course, if Petty John were to take their spot, it's probably because he's just
A freak, yeah, sure.
freak.
Which I'm not going to put it past him, but those are two guys who I think would more than likely get the time ahead of him.
Well, who? So, all right, I'm happy you said that then, because let me ask you this: do you not think the same for Devin Sanchez?
No, I think Sanchez is someone who can compete for a starting job, but he would have to. The problem is the cornerback room is so much deeper. Like it's so much deeper
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of their guys were. I mean, a lot of those guys had to play a lot. The younger guys because of some injuries. Like Denzel Burke got nicked up, Jordan Hancock was nicked up, so they had to throw in Jermaine Matthews. They had to put in, we've seen what Bryce West can do. Aaron Scott is someone who they really like coming out of high school, but he's just been injured. They haven't really been able to see a whole lot of what he can do on the field. So if Sanchez does come in to compete, it'll be more for that nickel spot, which I definitely can see him doing. He is, I think, the freshman that has the biggest chance to play right away on the defense. He's all that. I mean, he's really good.
No, I do like I've gone over this before. He has all the physical tools. I think he could easily. Because I don't think we know who's going to be the nickel guy yet.
No,
I mean, I think it's going to be Lorenzo, but
I mean Lorenzo's got the upper hand right now because he is an upperclassman. He's a senior, and they threw him out there a little bit as well, like this past year,
mm-hmm.
even in some big games, which honestly shocked me. But if he's gonna keep playing as well as he did, why not?
Could you possibly see one of the corners, the younger corners, making a move to safety?
I would say no, only because you know what? I won't say absolutely not, but I would say I don't see that as a big possibility right now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's all going to depend on who they, what kind of defense they like to play as, in Patricia's system. I mean, obviously they've got the best safety in college football in Caleb Downs. You and I both like McLean as,
Mm-hmm.
possibly getting the other starting spot. And they've got some other guys, who, I mean, on the roster that they like at the safety position. I understand Malik Harford got passed up by Jeremiah McLean, but they played him a decent amount early, so they know what they like. They know what they have in him if they need to go a different route when it comes to safety. So I don't know. I think they've got a lot of other guys that they would rather put there at safety as opposed to moving someone back. I mean, that's just me. But they do have a lot of unproven talent back there, which will not necessarily be an issue this year, or I guess in 2025, but in 2026, that's going to be a problem.